Glavnia. Podjom. Ahoy, my hatchlings, and welcome to another episode of Autocraft. And it has been a very long time. I recorded an episode, but I was really unhappy with it, and that just kept delaying things, and I've been unwell, and my nerves have been a real big problem for me. So now I'm using a trackball mouse, and I've gotten a lot better at controlling it, but it's still a little weird. But Alex and I, we built... Oh, I unrendered it. Alex and I, we built this Vostok rocket, and the Vostok is one of my favorite rockets. It's got this just perfect shape, and the R7 in general is just such a beautiful vehicle, and I love this vehicle, and the engines were made by Glushko, the vehicle itself was designed by Korolev, and Vostok is it's just such a wonderful vehicle. But Alex was going to build a pad. And Alex, well, he retired from the server, or he wants to do some other things, so he's not going to be playing on the server with us anymore, for now. And that means I need to make a pad. And this place doesn't actually have a place for the shop yet, but I have a design for the rocket pad, and I am super excited for it. The only downside is, it needs a lot of deep slate. And we're still in 1.17. Now, I did just remember that Rusty used to have a deep slate shop right here, and it's now this lovely wool shop that looks really nice. So Alex ran that, so I don't know what's going to happen to this thing now. But he moved his deep slate shop over here and started selling a whole bunch of other stuff, which is great. And 3 diamonds per 2 stacks. Oh, that's not a lot of deep slate. Yeah, I need like 3 to 4 shulkers of the stuff. I'm gonna have to mine it. Oh, and Asta has my beacon! Well, shoot. Okay, so we've gathered all the materials now to get this thing started, and apparently my beacon was here the whole time. So that would have been useful to know before I gathered all the materials. But we are going to build our Vostok launchpad underneath our Vostok. Naturally, because that's where it goes. And this is going to be really quite big. But we have a lot of land we have to clear, and I'm very glad that I have this shulker because, oh boy, I gotta get rid of all these trees and so much dirt and grass and just, why? Why do I do this to myself? Why do I do this to myself? Oh, hyperspeed build mode. Let's go! End of hyperspeed build mode, and take a look at this. Ah, man, I am so happy with how this turned out. This took me so long to do, but this is going to be an absolute landmark inside the shopping district, and it dwarfs everything else in here. But this really shows the importance of scale in your builds, because this build would not look good smaller. But to give you an idea, the importance of scale, this was my original mock-up in my creative world. So this is still the same. The rocket's still the same. Rocket looks fantastic. But I originally made this tiny little pad down here that was going to have these little arms, and the scale was just completely off. And think how much better the massive thing that I did make looks versus this little dinky thing here. And detail is great. I'm not good at detail, but detail is great. And you can make small things, but this just goes to show really the importance of putting scale in your builds and making sure that, you know, big things look good. They just make big things in Minecraft are a lot easier than making small detail things to make them look really good, because I could not for the life of me get this shape to work, and that is why we did not wind up building a launch pad initially when I built the rocket. But yeah, making this thing big, huge difference, and I'm so glad I did, because this thing looks absolutely amazing, and I have such a terrible headache right now. But I'm so glad this is done, because this took me 5 or 6 hours to do, just in the time lapse, and I'm so glad we have the light blocks on this server, because it means I can completely mob-proof this thing without any visible light sources, and it looks so good. It really does. Now we've gone ahead and we've added these paths here up to the base of the shop, as well as connecting it to the rest of the shopping district, as well as including some paths for other people to build off of, because this is a little bit out of the way compared to the main core of the shopping district, but eventually these things will all get filled in, and oh, it's going to look so nice. But next, we have to deal with, you know, actually filling up the shop, as well as where we're actually going to put the shop. Because I didn't work that out yet. Well, now that that's taken care of, what I did in my last episode, or what the last episode was really going to be about, that I scrapped, was this. I have gone ahead and, if it would load in, I have gone ahead and built several new farms. We have a nice sugarcane farm here, we have this bamboo farm to feed the stone generator, and we have this really nice big hostile mob farm. Unfortunately, I tried to make a design that would make it so this thing creates very little lag, but I've actually created one of the most laggiest farms that I've ever built, because it generates a lot of zombies and they don't always die, and they just gather and pick up all sorts of items, and it's a serious problem. So we're gonna fix this. We need to fix this very badly. Yeah, but just take a look at how many mobs, how many zombies there are right up here, and yeah, this is a serious problem. And I'm probably gonna ruin all my filters because these guys are gonna dump huge amounts of items into the thing at once. Oh jeez, this is such a mess. So the basic idea was that I was gonna have a flying machine, or the mobs would fall down here, and I'd have a flying machine that would just sweep the drops back and forth. But sometimes the zombies land and they live. So we're gonna tear this out and just put in a hopper-based system and just make our lives easier. Because this is generating so much more lag than the hoppers would have in the first place, and this has been such a headache, and is part of the reason why I struggled so much to get anything done for a long time. So let's just fix this disaster. And with that, this farm should now actually be working, so let's go ahead and fly up here to AFK so we can get ourselves plenty of gunpowder to finally restock our shop. Unfortunately, I think the only way to fix this problem, because these guys have armor, you can't actually see it, the only way to fix this problem is going to be with Vitter Roses. Hopefully someone has some Vitter Roses. So the farm's still not working, but fortunately someone on the server does have Vitter Roses, and that someone is Alpin, who I'm not sure has been in a video yet, at all. Hi Alpin!
Hello, hello!
So I'm told you have 3 stacks of Vitter Roses.
I do! And I heard you need them, so...
I do, very much.
What price were you thinking? 'Cause I know these are somewhat hard to come by.
I was thinking that for the lot.
Oh, that is fair. That is more than fair. Let's do it. Here you go. I'm just gonna throw them your way. Hopefully you have inventory space. Woo!
Well, I've gone ahead and gotten everything all set up. We now have ourselves 16 shulker boxes. I had to do some math in my head there for a moment. 16 shulker boxes of rockets, 8 shulkers of flight duration 1, which is 1 diamond per 3 stacks, which is the same as over there. And we also have the flight 3 rockets, which is twice as much, 2 diamonds per 3 stacks. And we of course still sell elytra. And yes, this area is finally done. It's all set up. The shop's open. Well, now that is taken care of, there is one more thing I want to do today. Now, it's mid-December, and normally what we do is we do like a little secret Santa thing, and we should have done this a while back, but no one's done anything yet, so I am going to go ahead and set up a secret Santa thing. So let's just jump in to a quick hyperspeed build mode. and end of our second hyperspeed build mode. And look, whoopsie, there we go. And look, we now have ourselves a tree. This is, of course, a Charlie Brown Christmas tree, and I really like how it turned out. But wow, was this frustrating to build. This was, geez, this was not, this was irritating to build, and, but let's go ahead and, I don't have a specific plan for how I'm going to make the dispenser, so I think I'm just going to do this, and go ahead and stick everybody's name in it. And let's see who we get. Yeah! Okay, take 2. Death. So, we have to give a gift to Death. I don't know what I'm going to give him. I'm going to need to figure that out. I was hoping I'd get Rusty because I had a plan for him. I have no idea what I'm going to do for Death. But with that, my hatchlings, I am really happy to... Yeah, please, fly. There we go, thank you. With that, I am really happy to have finally gotten back into making videos. We made this fantastic launchpad, which I am so happy about, and we now have ourselves a little Christmas tree, and I can't wait to see you in the next episode of Autocraft. This episode took me a long time to do, and it came out a little bit later than I was planning for, because this was a headache. This was difficult, but I'm just so happy that you joined me here today.